Okay, we have our large bag or body bag, depending on how you want to, categorize this bag. But it's the large bag. It may or may not look like this, depending on where you get it from, or because there's just different designs and stuff, like I said, on the handbag. But in most cases, you're going to have the front here, obviously, where you're going to strike from. And then on some designs, you have the handles on the side, which are nice, that you can actually get a better, leverage for when you're holding the bag or when your bag holder's holding it. And then on the back, we have our standard 2 straps here that, you can't do without them, so those are pretty much standard. And let's see, when you're holding the bag, one thing I want to point out is if you're getting someone to hold bags for you, make sure that you don't have someone that's, this short holding the bag, and then someone this tall or this big, kicking it. You want to get someone that's about on the same level, because you don't want to be kicking a bag. Obviously, if I was this little and I was holding for someone this big, I would probably not want to do that, because that little person is probably going to cut a couple flips or something there. But try to get someone your own size and your own strength and stuff like that. But it depends on the person. Someone a little short, or I don't like to categorize people, but some smaller people are stronger than the taller ones. But just try to feel the person out if they're going to be able to hold the bag for you and that kind of stuff, because like I said, we don't want anybody getting hurt. All right, when you're holding the body bag here, basically what you want to do is you want to slide one hand through both straps, or not through both straps. You want to slide it through one strap and grab the other. All right, now since I'm pretty much right, I guess I would say right-handed most of the time. If you're right-handed, I would go through with my right hand first, grab it, and set up this way. Obviously, if you're left-handed, or depending on the type of technique that's coming at me, I'll slide my left hand through, grab the strap here, and just place it on your hip there. But for this video, I'm going to show you on my right side here. Slide it through, like I said, grab, and position it on your hip. And you want to get, depending on the technique, you want, like if somebody's doing a side kick, or even probably a front kick too. Just place it on your hip, and your other hand, you're probably wondering, what do I do with my other hand? Some people grab the sides. I don't really, if I have a bag that's got the straps on the side, I don't really like holding the side, because the top is going to come back at you some. So what I like to do is, the way I mostly hold the bag is I put one hand on top and put the other one, and place it on my hip, because you can pretty much control how much force is coming at you, even though you can't control the kicker or puncher or something like that. But it gives you more control over the bag, because like I said, if you're holding it here, that bag's going to do this and twist up and stuff like that. So have more control. Just grab the top of the bag and bring it in close to you here, because if you're holding it way out here, that bag is going to come flying back and hit you, and you're probably going to fall down or cut a flip or something. So you want it close, or you can actually grab the sides or the top here like that. Just whatever you feel comfortable with. If it feels awkward, then you're probably not holding it the correct way, and you're probably going to have problems with it when you're holding it for the person, or when your helper is helping you hold the bag. So just be comfortable, be loose. Like I said on the handbag, be loose. You don't want to be super tense, but with the big bag, which is going to be mostly for kicks, you do want to be tense. You want to be ready, and you want to get down in your stance a little more than you would with your hand technique in the small bag there. So in close, not way out, and you want to kind of put your shoulder into it just a little bit, depending on the strength of the kicker. So get down in that stance a little bit, bend those knees a little bit. I would put more weight on my back leg, and kind of have that front leg up, to like if someone's kicking, like if I have a strong kicker, I'll lock his back leg, and I'll let this front leg kind of come up some, so that I'm not just, kicked back and both feet go flying back or something like that. So letting that front foot be a little loose and putting most of your weight on that back leg gives you some, flexibility and some, give and some space to give there, because you don't want to be, super tight, and when they go to hit, you just go flying back like this. So kind of be loose, and when they hit, kind of come in a little bit obviously after they hit, be loose with it, because you don't want to flinch, like I said, on the handbag, because that can mess the kicker up and also cause some injuries and stuff like that. And plus, if you're moving the bag and stuff, especially on the handbag, you have a good chance of getting hit with a technique, and you want to make sure if you're holding the bag, you want to make sure they're just hitting the bag, because it's not as much on the big bag, but when you're holding the small bag, you'll from time to time get your forearm hit, or get caught on the arm or something like that if you're not 100% paying attention. But the big bag, the main thing you want to watch out for is your when they're kicking. I would turn to the side, because when those knees, you don't really want to get those hit to the side. Even though when you're holding the bag, you're mostly going to be wanting to turn to the side. So, I mean, most people are going to be able to get their kick up to hit this kind of bag at the height that they need. So, I mean, you can adjust it, from the type of kicker that's coming at you. You can adjust it low or up high from there. And let's see, what else can I tell you about this bag? Let's say you're doing a front kick. Someone's coming at you with a front kick. What I like to do is, now you got your side stance there. Now, what I like to do is get into a front stance, and what I do with that is, I just bring the bag out and I actually tuck it under the opposite arm. So if I'm holding it in my right hand, I'll tuck it under my left arm and just rest my hand on top of the bag, or my arm on top of the bag like this, and just kind of tuck it in close, and have it real close to my body, so that, like I said before, you don't want it way out and then it comes flying in to hit you. You're actually going to cause yourself more damage than if you were to just hold it close and close that gap there. So, like if they're doing a front kick or something like that, or just basically any kick where they're pretty strong, hold it up close to you like this. I mean, you're gonna have your hand there, and it's gonna hit your body there a little bit. It's gonna after a couple of kicks and stuff like that, you may get a little sore. But I mean, for me personally, I think this is the best way to hold it up close to you, hand on top of the bag, so you can have control of the bag, so it's not moving all over the place for you. So, and just kind of try to feel your partner out, or whoever's hitting the bag. Kind of work with them. You don't want to be looking over here when they're hitting the bag. You want to focus on them, so you can kind of see where they're coming from when they're coming at you, because they may slip up or something, and you don't want to be looking over here and you come around and catch a kick to the face or something like that. So just make sure both you guys or girls are paying attention to each other, so nobody gets hurt, because there's a lot of injuries that happen just because one of the two people are not paying attention. So just be aware of your surroundings and your partners, and you should not have any problems, especially with this big bag, because it's pretty simple. You just hold it out, put that hand in there, and like I said, like I like to do, just hold it in close to you, and you should have no problems there. So I'm going to wrap this one up, and we're going to get to the big bag next. So see you then.